extra time.
When a game is that close, do you look back at the 1%ers, the little things that you could have done better?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there were some small things that could have been done better, and a few very obvious ones. I think both sides made some mistakes throughout the game. I think there's a few errors on both parts that both sides will look back and think they could have done X, Y, and Z a bit better. I think with the ball we weren't quite as disciplined as we had been early on. We gave them a few too many easy boundary balls where they didn't have to work too hard for those boundaries. But then we pegged it back fantastically well with the spinners picking up those wickets. And then another partnership developed and they were really threatening, but we managed to break that and finish really well. So that was sort of the tail of our bowling. And again, as we touched on earlier with the bat, that someone going on to make that match-defining contribution, two guys making that match-defining partnership. We lost some soft dismissals, I would say, when we look back at it, and we'll be disappointed with that.
Can you just talk us through what you personally and maybe the rest of the team were going through in the dugout at the end there? There was drop catches, overturned LBW decisions. It was chaos for a little bit of time on the field, wasn't it? Yeah,
it was, absolutely, and some brilliant batting mixed in there as well. So I think there's always some genuine belief. The run rate was never really the issue. We felt even when Adil and Sam got together, they played brilliantly well and were whittling down the score. And then great for Sam to take the ownership he showed and to take us all the way down to the wire. So I think any time the game starts to become within reach, that's when it almost starts to get harder, and everyone seems to be a bit more nervous, and and everyone on the ground started to get a bit tense, and the guys in the dugout as well. But we're all very proud of the way Sam played. He showed all the traits that we know he has in abundance, and the character and the skill level, and he embodies what we're about as a team.
When he was joined by Mark, he didn't seem to know whether to take the singles or to let Mark have the strike. How did that resolve itself? Was there a message run out to them, or did you just let them figure it out for themselves?
Yeah, we felt that Sam should try and take the majority of the balls, especially to how well he can strike the ball, and on one side there's a smaller boundary, so we felt that was going to give us the best chance of getting us over the line, that the more balls Sam could face. So and of course Sam's a young guy who would many guys are never really exposed to that kind of situation in their whole career, so he'll take great learning from that. I can't think of many times myself I've ever been in those situations, so there's always a bit of suck it and see from the side, and for you guy in the middle to try and make that decision as to how to take the game forward the best. So he'll be much better equipped if he ever was in that situation before to look back on this experience. And I think I'm looking at it as well as a fellow player and the other guys in the team as to if we were in Sam's situation, how is the best way to take that game forward. So I think all of us in the team and the squad will have taken great learning from watching him and trying to think through how we would take that situation down individually as well.
He's still only 22. It feels like he's been around international cricket for a very long time. But over and over, it's his temperament that shines through, isn't it, as a real strength?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's say he's a very young man still. So, but I think both him and Tom, anytime they're put in those situations, the two of them seem to have the character for the crunch moments in games, and I think Sam just keeps showing what a match winner he is. Really, he came up with the wicket of Rishabh Pant as well. Any time with the ball, he takes big wickets, whether it's in a Test match or one day a T20. He's a real impact player in the games, and he'll just continue to get better and better. Like you said, it's important to remember he is still only 22, and the scope of where he can take his game to is massive. So we're all very excited for him.
Throughout the series, Moeen Ali and Sam Curran have been your designated finishers. So what is your thought on them going and playing under someone like MS Dhoni for the entirety of the IPL this season?
Yeah, I'm very excited for them. Don't know quite what roles they'll be used in for Chennai. That's obviously MS Dhoni's decision. But I'm sure Sam will want to talk to MS about tonight's innings. I'm sure that was shades of the way he would have tried to take that game down if he was in that situation. So what a great person for Sam to go and have a conversation with whenever it is he gets to meet up with MS about the game just gone. We all know what a amazing cricketer and finisher and player that MS Dhoni is. So again, it's a brilliant learning curve for all our players to get to share dressing rooms with guys, especially someone of MS's stature in the game.
Do you feel as though the team has moved on in any way since the World Cup? Obviously each World Cup is a 4-year project, and circumstances have led to 2 series defeats in a row. But do you read much into that, or do you actually feel as though you've made more progress than it might look on the face of it?
No, I wouldn't read too much into that. We've been a brilliant side for a long period of time now. I think we've lost those 2 series, but that's 2 losses in our last 11 series. So we're still a very good side. We're, as I've touched on, expanding that talent pool. There's been a few guys obviously missing from this side, and guys coming in to have opportunities, which is fantastic. And that's been a big part of us getting better and better as a side. And we never want to put limitations on what we're capable of, and we'll continue to try and push the boundaries and strive to do that. And I think the exposure of players coming in and continuing to play in that fashion that we expect of is great. Expanding that talent pool and pushing each other on from within, and building the strength in the squad and the competition for places in the 11 is only going to continue to improve our side. So of course it's again a long cycle looking ahead to a World Cup, but we always want to you want to learn and you want to win at the same time. So we're of course disappointed when we don't do that, but of course there is big pictures moving forward, and look, we'll continue to be a very good side. There's more and more experience in guys, a lot of guys, in and around 100 caps as well. So their experience in the squad is huge, and the exposure for other guys coming in is vital as well. So I think we're in a really good place as a side.
Would you therefore say that the kind of reconfirmation of the style that you've talked about, and the way that perhaps Liam Livingstone has come in and played that way, and then now Sam Curran in this way, is that perhaps the most important thing out of this series?
Yeah, absolutely. Liam coming in and playing in those 2 games the way he has, it shows, I think, that we're doing things right, and people are getting the message of how we want people to play, and they feel the freedom to come in and play in that way straight away. Liam's obviously a very attacking, aggressive batsman, and we want him to play in exactly that fashion when he comes in and does that. So to have the confidence to come in and play on debut the way he did and play tonight, he was batting fantastically well, and obviously got out where he did to a poor dismissal, which he can't quite believe happened. But it's brilliant to see someone like that come in and play straight away in the fashion we would like people to play in. So I think that just shows we're doing things right. The message gets through to people, and we'll continue to play in that way.
Means that England lost all 3 compartments of the series, but what do you take away from this time in India, positive and negative, I suppose?
Yeah, absolutely. We come here wanting to win. We play the game to win matches and to win series, and in the must-win games at the end of the T20 and the one-days, we haven't quite managed to do that. So of course we're disappointed with that, but there'll be some great learnings taken from the tour, some great exposure to players playing in this part of the world for the first time, and I think once again expanding the talent pool that are available to us in one-day cricket, building ahead to the T20 World Cup in a few months' time, and of course the 2023 World Cup later on down the line in here as well. So anytime we expand that player pool, that creates competition, that creates better performance, and that's the upward trajectory that we're always after as a side, that continuous improvement.
Hit the subscribe option and the bell icon to get all the exclusive sports videos on Extra Time.